here at the 2023 AFCON. Come Sunday, as we look to crescendo at the 2023 AFCON there, here in Abidjan. Of course, it will be the Super Eagles of Nigeria against the Elephants of Ivory Coast, who themselves have actually literally like a phoenix risen from their ashes of defeat to great height. And I must say, big commendations must actually come from that particular team, because they've dug deep when it mattered the most, and more importantly, they've showed the mettle that never say die. But for the Super Eagles, what a tournament we've actually had. At the moment, that particular war of attrition between Nigeria and South Africa, the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Bafana yesterday ultimately was settled on penalties from 12 yards, as the Super Eagles decided to make sure that certainly they were not going to be left behind, and more importantly, not just left behind, and they also tried to do what they had to do. Thank you very much. But in a bit to press it further, let's actually say that it was a great game. It was a hard-fought victory. But one thing is certain, the Super Eagles have triumphed once again, and will be playing on in the finals come Sunday. And there were celebrations after one man, talking about Kelechi Promise Iheanacho, who had been left out in the cold for so long up until this point, and when he mattered the most, when he was needed the most, when he was called upon, when the chips were looking down, he rose up, and I'm going to tell you, keeping it cool, eyes in his veins, and slotting that one into the back of the net to a rapturous applause and celebrations and wild gyrations there at the Stade de la Paix in Bouaké. And as they said, the rest is history, as the Super Eagles celebrated deep into the night, celebrated hard, because they knew that they had to dig deep. And as they always say here in Nigeria, no grief for anyone, as the Super Eagles refused to back down to the menacing forces of the Bafana. But more importantly was the fact that from start to this very point in time, the Super Eagles have been heavily, and I mean heavily, supported. Even our own chairman, Arise This Day Group, talking about Chief Nduka Bagbena, has also been here to watch the Super Eagles play and also cheer them on, because I could see, I remember him waving his own jersey and saying, Super Eagles, go, go, go. Same was the president, as a matter of fact, yesterday issued a statement and spoke about the resilience of the Eagles, not backing down for anybody. Also present yesterday, of course the president was not present, but the vice president was there to convey the messages of the president, talking about Kashim Shettima, as he was there to celebrate the boys on the pitch after the final whistle was blown, in the dressing room, took pictures with them, gyrated with them, and celebrated with them. Also present was Dakwa Abiodun, talking about the governor of Ogun State, who also flew in to celebrate the boys there in Bouaké. And more importantly, Ademola Adeleke, talking about the governor of Osun State, also back at home, sat down with his board members, sat down with his cabinet and his executives as they watched that game tense. And I must tell you, celebrations are just literally everywhere, wherever you actually turn, more importantly. But let's talk about one man who stood tall. Let's talk about one man who distinguished himself. No one saw it coming at the beginning of the tournament. Talking about Nigeria's number 23, Stanley Wabali. That man has been a breath of fresh air. That man has stood tall between the sticks for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. That man has instilled confidence, inspired literally a generation, and a man that moved from Nigeria, having played for several teams here in Nigeria. He plays in South Africa, and against South Africans yesterday, he showed them that we've played together, we've dined together, we've wined together, and I know how to probably bring you down to your knees. And that's exactly what he did yesterday. Hero of the show, one man of the match. Kudos to him. But more importantly, as I wrap it up, let's talk about the Ivorians and their spirit. It's been quite a tournament for them. From the jaws and from the ashes of defeat, they've risen, and they are saying, and they are daring Nigerians, that we will stop you. But when you look at the antecedents, when you look at the history, this is not the first time Nigeria will be going against Ivory Coast. As a matter of fact, this particular meeting on Sunday will be reprising what happened on match day 2, where the Super Eagles literally humbled the Ivorian team, silenced the stadium, and went out with 3 points to qualify from Group A. And on Sunday, we'll be expecting nothing different. En route to our finals in 2013, Ivory Coast stood in our way. As a matter of fact, the then Nigeria Football Federation did not believe in the Super Eagles because they said the elephants were too big for the Super Eagles. But once again, the Super Eagles have shown time and time again, when the storms are highest, they fly the highest. In the words of a famous writer, when fate said to the warrior, the storm is coming, the Super Eagles time and time again have replied, I am the storm. They are eagles that always fly within the storm.
Okay, I'm so excited, Aaron. I'm done in my green. Eagles no grief for anybody. Let's go there in the final. I don't care what one police spokesperson say about no grief for anybody. Eagles no grief for anybody. Go there to the final and bring it up. But, Aaron, I must have to sound a note of warning to all of our politicians. Please, when these guys bring the nation's cup back home, as they will on Sunday, all the promises you make for them, ensure you keep it. We don't want a case like what happened in '94, that the homes promised to people there were just fulfilled.
Rufai,
I just have to sound that warning.
Permit me to interject at this point for this particular reason. Rufai, I said this once, and probably it's good I reiterate it again. In a very long time, I've spoken to officials, I've spoken to players. In a very long time, the Super Eagles have not had it this good. Payments have been made. Promises have been made on one hand. And secondly, payments have been made. The players cannot afford to say at this point in time that the duty of the nation to them in terms of remuneration has not been met. Promises have been made, and we know that the 12 billion has been released, but it hasn't got it to them. But when it comes to daily allowances, when it comes to qualification bonuses that is accrued to the players, they've gotten it. This is unheard of in a very long time.
Why has the money not gotten to them?
To the minister, kudos to the president, kudos to the NFF president.
Right. Why has the money not gotten to them, Aaron?
Okay.
Rufai, the ones that concern this tournament has been given to them. The backlog that the 12 billion that the president has released, probably before they get back on Monday or Tuesday, there are talks that the CBN will work out the fine lines.
Very good.
All right, that's very good and positive news. Talking about encouragement and motivation for the Eagles, yesterday they had the honor of the Vice President, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, not just watch their match, but also visit them in the locker room post-match, celebrating with the Super Eagles. He also made some promises with regards to the fact that they will be rewarded. Do you have any specifics in terms of what he promised them when he went into the locker room? I don't know if you had the opportunity to be there while he was there or afterwards to speak to some of the players as to what he said to the Super Eagles in the locker room.
Of course, promises have been made in terms of ensuring that everything that is due to these boys will be gotten and even more. Yesterday, you hosted a big conglomerate here in Nigeria, a blue chip company here in Nigeria, and there were promises have been made, and I know that several people, several actors there in Nigeria are also making promises. The truth is this: one thing is certain. Unlike before, and I say this because I have followed this game closely, at least for the last 15 years, and I've seen things turn. Or let's just say between 2013, when they won the Africa Cup of Nations there in South Africa, and date, that is about 11 years. This is the best time the Super Eagles have actually enjoyed. I know that the then president, Dr. Igbile Gulo Jonathan, was very kind to the Super Eagles. He ensured that everything that was due them were given to them at the appropriate time. And once again, another president is showing that his love for sports and his love for the nation is shining through. And that is why I'm saying what I'm saying, not because we are trying to be patriotic here, but ever since Dr. Igbile Gulo Jonathan's time, we've not had it this good, especially in terms of remuneration for national teams. Because what the president has done is not just to settle the team, but he's settled all the national teams within the cadre of the Nigeria Football Federation.
Aaron, well, just some comments. Congratulations to the Super Eagles. We all, wish them well, and we were all part of that match yesterday. And the victory is for Nigeria. What Nigeria has proven is that football no be Grammy. It's not Grammy. Football no be cricket. Football no be rugby. So the Super Eagles have shown that this is football. And when it comes to football, Nigeria is, superior, more accomplished than, South Africa. And that's what we've proven yesterday. We're beating them a record 4th time at the African Cup of Nations, as we are looking for the trophy a 4th time. So congratulations. But again, yesterday I thought you were going to talk about Democratic Republic of Congo. They started that match with Ivory Coast with a protest about the crisis in Eastern Congo, and they called for peace. And I thought, that was politics and sports coming together again. The sportsmen using the opportunity to make a quick political statement about the situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Well, we meet Cote d'Ivoire on Sunday. Well, we shouldn't underestimate them. Cote d'Ivoire, they now have Sebastian Haller, who scored yesterday, the Borussia Dortmund player, who scored the lone goal that has taken them to the final. This was a team that was almost at relegation point at the group stage, and now, is going to be at the finals. Well, at the finals, again, the Eagles should just go for the trophy. We need that record 4th time, winning that trophy. Already they've made as much as $4 million. So that's quite some money. If they win on Sunday, that's $7 million. That's the prize money. The prize money having been increased by about 40%. Congratulations, Super Eagles. Thank you for making all of us proud. We look forward to greater celebrations on Sunday.
Yes,
right?
We are looking forward to it. They made us proud. Nigeria was united. I could hear shouting and screams, especially when Kelechi Iheanacho took that final penalty. And it was such a wonderful uniting moment for Nigeria.
Great moment.
Yes, great moment.